Well, here we are, our last episode of June, but we are not taking the summer off because why not? We love this. We love you. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt. We love staying in the cool as well, although the cool is coming back. It's broken, but boy, oh boy. I know nobody likes to hear somebody say that summer's too hot, but it was pretty freaking hot.
Yeah, you're in southern or southwestern Ontario. What do you call you at Port Stanley?
I would say southwestern, yeah.
Everybody was hearing about the heat wave and the heat dome and all of that was happening, but it's pretty much passed through by now, or?
Yep, we got some rain, and so it's changed things, but it was really, I feel so bad for the people who have to work in it, and when they don't have a choice, you know? Anyway, no, I stay indoorsy. It's nice and cool here.
Good, and that seniors home you volunteer for, they've got air conditioning, right?
Well, they do, but it's not very effective because the building is so old. And so there's a little bit of cool blowing into the dining room, which is the main room for everything. But a lot of the residents have complained, and so they have window shakers in their own rooms. And the rooms aren't huge, so that takes up some room. And this new building can't be built fast enough to get people more comfortable. They do as best they can.
Yeah, don't say asbestos.
No.
Oh, my God. Well, as you've noticed, there's a whole metric shit ton of stuff going on in the world this week, but we want to be kind of your safe space, your somewhat happy space, the place where you go to think but not overthink. That's my job. I'll take that on. So let's look ahead a little bit, because Canada Day is next Tuesday, and there's something, if you have your radio on, that you're most likely to hear. It's Canada Pro Bono, and it's this group that put this together for free, and it's in celebration of our 158th anniversary, and just kind of a gentle reminder about elbows up. Do you want to hear it?
Canada first. You got it.
I am a Canadian. And today is Canada Day. Today, I appreciate a little more what being Canadian means to me and what Canadians mean to each other. Since early February, together, we have helped to save Canadian jobs and protect Canadian businesses. Shop as if your country depends on it. Keep your money in Canada for Canada. And happy Canada Day.
Oh, man, I love the message about keeping our dollars here, our loonies in Canada. Lisa, it was the squee heard across the country last week when I found Canadian romaine in the grocery store.
Okay, so you're talking about like romaine hearts, 3 to a bag, that kind of thing?
No, I don't hope for too much now. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Don't get in the bread line and ask for keto.
Well, the reason I say that is because when you told me, I'm like, well, we've had Canadian romaine here all along, so I'm not quite certain of what you're talking about.
Wait, you've had Canadian romaine and you haven't been overnighting it to me?
The only way we're getting them is from greenhouses, local growers, so they're just the one big romaine lettuce, not the 3-bag that comes in from the States. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about that one big glorious head of romaine.
Oh, cool.
When I posted about it last week on Threads, and people were piling on going, yes, I saw it from Quebec, I saw it from here, I saw it from there. Ours was from BC. Somebody wrote, where are you, Mayberry? It's lettuce. and I said, yeah, but in my section of Mayberry, and she's closer to the truth than she knows when you've seen Sydney, I said, there has been no Canadian romaine. And yeah, butter lettuce. I like you, butter lettuce, but I'm a little tired of you, butter lettuce. And oh my God, it just shows you, and I don't want to make this too precious, but coming home from the grocery store, so delighted with my one big head of romaine lettuce from Canada because I've not had any for about 6 months. It reminded me of what our grandparents maybe went through when there was some sugar in the store during rationing, or maybe they got a little bit of butter for a recipe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do, because it's something that when you can't get it normally, when you finally do, it's a big, big deal. So do you have farmers markets where you are?
We totally do. We have Okanagan cherries and berries and stuff that are here now from the mainland. We have a weekly market on the whole main street of Sydney, and Aunt Bee and Opie go, and it's so great. Everybody has cotton candy. And, but no, it's wonderful, but I don't go to it because it's too crowded.
Yeah, you and I went, and it was really, really busy. Like,
Yes.
I
yes.
totally get it. Or it's full of frickin' tourists. You
yeah,
know,
nobody likes those. We love you.
Tourists.
Come visit. We love you.
Of course.
So, being so joyful at finding a head of lettuce, does that not speak to you in terms of stoicism? And I think I'm really gripping on my journal this Monday thanked you outright for what you've done in bringing stoicism to my life. But this is a time when we really need to kind of buckle down and embrace some of these tenets. And they're so good, and you're so good at explaining it.
Well, the only one that I keep going back to is, does this affect my life right now? Can I do anything about it? And if not, then I go on with my day. And that is a way of looking at the world that I used to think was almost fear-based or something. Like, you're not looking at reality if you're not wringing your hands and freaking out over what's going on right now. But it's true. It's going to happen with or without your energy in it. So you might as well put your energy towards something that is going to be good in your life. For me, that could be anything from writing to hanging out with a cat to going for a walk to making a silly craft. Just bringing the world down to a tiny little point where you're at. Because really, we can't do anything. Even going on social media and complaining about stuff feels like doing something, but it really isn't. No minds get changed. No policies get overturned. Nothing like that happens. It might be venting, and that's not a bad thing if you're overflowing. But just what can I control? If I can't control this, I'm not going to spend any more time on it. I know about it, but that doesn't mean wallowing in it. It's hard.
It is hard. And yet it's easy. It just means go inside. And, you know, the heat you've had the last few days, that is literally a good and healthy thing to do if you can and if it's safe. Distractions are good things. Like tomorrow, HBO drops the hour-and-a-half documentary directed by Mariska Hargitay. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I can't wait to see it.
It sounds pretty fascinating, especially someone like her. And you think, oh, you had a famous mother. Your life was probably charmed. And we're going to find out it's not like that at all.
And getting a chance to set the record straight on who Jane Mansfield, Mariska Hargitay's very famous mother, actually was, this multi-talented, brilliant classic musician who was only known for her sex pot image. And that's what she had leaned into because she had to. That was her moneymaker.
Can I tell you something that is sort of related, but you're going to think, well, go ahead and roll your eyes.
Is it about your breasts?
No, it is
Lisa?
not.
Because I'm so tired of hearing about your cleavage. Oh, my God. Again.
Hearing from them or hearing about them? I think this happens to celebrities a lot. And it was worse back in the day when they were being set up for dates so that they'd be seen in public. I mean, some of that probably still goes on. But David Spade just seems like this wheezly little, my husband can't stand him. He seems like this wheezy little smarmy smartass, but that's his persona. And Conan O'Brien and all these other comedians say he is nothing like that in real life. And you sort of get latched on to one thing, and that's how the public sees you. You get one dimension, and that's all you're allowed. Tom Hanks is one of the few people who's been able to break through that and become something other than, you know, a goofy sitcom star or whatever. But somebody like Jane Mansfield, when all these guys during wartime and have a poster of her on their locker or a picture of her in their wallet or whatever, she started to just be this one-dimensional, good-looking woman and sort of an ideal woman.
Yeah.
And they didn't allow her to show the other facets of her life.
Her death, too. And I don't know if Mariska is going to talk about this. There's something called the Mansfield Bar on trucks now. People mentioned this in response to an interview in the New York Times, which stops a car from going under a transport truck, which is what happened with Jane Mansfield in a convertible. And the rumor was that she was, please pardon the graphic nature of this, beheaded. She was not. It was her wig in the road. But ever since then, of course, it's like Mama Cass choked on a ham sandwich. No, she didn't. It was a drug overdose. And her people didn't want her to be remembered for drugs, so they went with the fat lady jokes.
Ham sandwich. Yeah. There's so much of that. I always wanted to do a TV show that went back to big stories and told the truth, because people get this one fact in their mind and that's become the truth. So, okay, Mama Cass choked on a ham sandwich. There's a whole bunch of other ones like that where, the woman who dumped the coffee on her lap and sued McDonald's. Yeah. That massive record amount of money she was awarded was cut back on appeal, but nobody remembers that.
And she totally deserved it. Her lady parts were completely burned, and it was a real thing.
Yeah, they were not that smart about keeping the temperature a manageable number. It's funny, I was talking to my cousin last weekend at this big family party we have every year, and she does reports for insurance companies, and it's unbelievable what people will sue for and get money for. If you ever fall in a restaurant, Aaron, just sue the restaurant, even if it's you who wasn't looking. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I digress, but that's my job.
It does sound like a good show, though, so write the book, Lisa. You already did Celebrity Tantrums. Write the book.
I think people have written it. I think it might have been done.
Oh, you see, that's the voice that keeps us all from writing. Somebody else wrote it.
It doesn't keep me from writing. I'm writing my little heart out.
You are.
But that particular thing, it would take so much research. See, what I wanted, Aaron, was to have a research team and to have a camera person. I love doing research, but this stuff, there'd be so much to it.
Yeah. Well, Paul Harvey way back in the day, and now you know the rest of the story. And that was great listening.
I always remember Elizabeth Taylor being born covered in fur.
I know.
That's the one that stuck with me, that she was born and she looked like a tiny monkey, and everybody talked about how ugly this girl was, this little baby. They didn't know what they were going to do with her, and then it turns out all the hair fell out.
And that baby was Elizabeth Taylor. So it's the real story.
And now you know the rest of the story. Yeah, she just was born with fur.
Okay, well, that would only make me love a baby more.
Right?
My fur baby. She's not toilet trained, but look at her go in the litter box. Well, let's switch lanes to a different kind of animal, and one that we all had our eyes on 50 years ago this week. You know that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something's coming. Did you get to see Jaws in the theater? I was 12, going on 13.
As was I.
I don't know how I was allowed. I think I might have read the Peter Benchley novel first. And so you got to go?
I don't even remember it being a big thing in my life.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't. I was so terrified.
No, I don't remember it being a big thing. I do remember seeing it. I don't remember if I saw it in the theater where I saw it, but I just don't remember it. Like the Rocky Horror Picture Show for me was the big movie. So tell me what it was like to see it when you were that young.
Oh, I wasn't ready emotionally.
Right.
For anybody, and I'm not alone, but being afraid even to be in a swimming pool. And logically, there's not going to be a shark. Or as we called it then, Jaws is in the pool or Jaws is in the lake. No, there are no sharks in the Great Lakes. But we were terrified. And Bruce is back. Bruce, of course, the name of the mechanical shark that saved the day by not working right in this film.
Right, because it would have been a completely different movie if it had worked right and it had been shown. Instead, Steven Spielberg, who was, 27 at the time, had to figure out a way to make it scary. And it was scarier without seeing Bruce, named for his lawyer, the shark, that didn't work properly because it was just so terrible. It's a good thing. It probably would have become like a D picture.
Oh, yeah.
If Bruce had been in much more. It's like almost an hour and a half before you even see it.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
So it's coming back to Canadian theaters in August 29th, until September 4th to celebrate its 50th anniversary. A few theaters are showing it special, like in Stratford, Timmins, and Oshawa, but nationwide in August, so that you can have that theater feel again.
That'd be great.
And you know what, Lisa? I think it ages so incredibly well, because so many films that we saw back in the day.
Yes.
But a well-made film with the perfect soundtrack. We can't discount how important John Williams was to this film.
That's very true. And you're right. And it probably, again, aged well because there are fewer special effects scenes with Bruce, the terrible shark. Did you know that Steven Spielberg didn't go to the premiere because he thought it was going to be a flop? He was so embarrassed by the film.
Are you kidding?
No, he didn't even go to the premiere because he just was mortified that it was just going to be and look at it now.
No kidding. There's even a documentary that is coming out called Jaws at 50, the definitive inside story. And you'll probably hear more stuff like what you just said about the making of the film. And you'll hear from people like Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams and James Cameron, George Lucas. No one that anyone has ever heard of, right? And it starts July 10th on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Be looking for that too, for sure.
It's all about the diversion this summer, right? And again, it goes back to stoicism and controlling what you can. Can I go to a movie? I'm going to go to a movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can I help a neighbor with something? Can I take a nap? Whatever.
So does Canada have great white sharks, Lisa?
I don't know for sure. Did we?
We do. Great white sharks are present in Canadian waters, especially along the East Coast, and they're a rarity, but they have become more frequent from feeding on seals, especially in Nova Scotia. But you can find great whites in the Bay of Fundy, Cabot Strait, Gulf of St. Lawrence, and even as far as Quebec.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Yay. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, as the old line goes. Yeah.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you know what I need here now, though, is some Jack Handy Deep Thoughts music. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Stephen King actually re-threaded this the other day. If you ever get attacked by a shark, remember to take a moment and appreciate the statistical improbability of your misfortune. and then somebody else adds, okay, here we go again. When I'm being eaten by a shark, I find it helps to focus on the fact that the shark isn't angry with me. It's just hungry.
Oh, yes. Yeah, take that moment. It'll be your last. Too funny. Too funny.
Why not? Well, 50 years ago, you probably weren't complaining that your knees didn't work, but as we age, things start to get, well, shall we say, rusty. And there was a testimonial, Lisa, on Sierra Sill's website, sierrasill.com, from an actual Gracefully and Frankly listener, Nina. And she said, I've been using Joint Formula 14 for a few weeks. I'd heard about the product from Lisa and Aaron on their podcast. I'd been taking pain meds daily, so I had nothing to lose in trying this product, which is what we always say, Lisa.
Yep.
My knees have better flexibility, and I'm not in as much pain. I recommended the product to my husband, whose knees and hands are improving, and I would recommend it to everyone.
That's
Yay!
fantastic. Check it out at sierrasill.com. Sierra like the mountains, SIL.com. Use your GF code for 14% off.
Well, as Canada gets set to turn 158 on July the 1st, I came across a list that you and I shared about weird things that change as you get older.
Mm-hmm. The first one actually isn't a surprise to me and probably not to you, but a lot of people don't know what's happening. Your voice changes. It might change. It gets lower, maybe even a little gravelly. I find I don't have the resilience to do as much voice work in the day anymore. I used to be able to go several hours, and now I can't. For some men, their voices go up in pitch, but for some women, their voices get lower because of hormones. And it can affect your outlook on yourself when you hear yourself sounding a little bit different. But hoarseness is another thing that comes up. I'm not a pony, but I'm a little hoarse.
Yes. Does it ever? The hoarseness, especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing that a lot with my husband. If you notice it with your husband, be careful, because he makes a lot of money doing voiceover work, as you do too.
No, he sounds fantastic. His hair isn't going gray. Everybody keeps saying he looks younger. Let's not talk about him. Yeah. It's annoying.
How about his height? I know Rob has certainly gotten shorter. This is my husband who's 9 years older than I am. That's the second thing. Weird things that happen as you age. Of course, most of us know this, that you will shrink and keep shrinking. Have you shrunk, Lisa?
I have. The last time I had my height checked, they said, "Oh, you're 5'5". And I said, "No, 5'6". No, you're 5'5". No, 5'6". I'm 5'5". And then I got it. Actually, that wasn't the last time, the second last time. And then I got it done again, and I was 5'5.5". So I don't know what I had done to get a half inch back, but have you?
Rob has. I don't think I have. I was always 5'10", and I may be 5'9.5". I'm not sure. I meant to measure myself before this podcast, but doesn't really matter. But I still much taller than him now, and we used to see eye to eye. We still do metaphorically, but
yes.
Not in height. Well, here's the thing. By age 70, which Rob is, plus a bit, men will lose an average of 1 inch, while women closer to 2 inches. And after you hit 80, the same research suggests you'll probably drop another inch. So it's not all in your head. You're actually shrinking, and the reason is we lose bone and cartilage in the vertebrae of our spine, which can make us shorter. The abdominal and lower back muscles around the spine weaken, so they're not holding us as straight. And you may be able to slow it down if it matters to you, in part by staying physically active, doing weight-bearing exercises that strengthen your core.
Those are just good for you anyway, right? Height or no height. Yeah.
Exactly. Right there around your belly button. And be sure and get enough calcium and vitamin D. Now, it can also indicate osteoporosis, so keep an eye on that.
If you get headaches, have you ever had migraines?
Only once in my life, and it was brought on by emotion. So I am, touch wood, I'm so lucky not to have them. You?
I used to get them from my neck, but I don't anymore. You know, when my neck would go out or whatever from those car accidents I was in. But ever since I've been using the Envy pillow, I don't get them at all, and it's fantastic. But if you do get them, they may decrease as you get older, which is something kind of weird. Everything seems to get worse, but migraines may reduce in frequency as you get older. Isn't that wild?
Wow. And you do mention the Envy pillow, and we don't specifically drop in mentions of our sponsors just to get them in the story. The change of a pillow can mean all the difference in the world, and it's part of the reason that we are both so loyal to Envy Pillow, to its creators, Kathy and Kim, not only for the wonderful elements for your skin and for smoothing your skin, but it's the way that it's built and the materials used that really can help neck injuries. I heard from somebody who says she doesn't even go back for treatments on her neck. That was in our survey results, which we're going to remind you of in a moment. But you are living proof of this too, Lisa.
I am. And another thing that people say it really helps with is TMJ pain relief. When you have that pain in your jaw because you're not laying right on your jaw. Your head is supported. You have to see it to understand it. It's ergonomic. It's a Health Canada approved product, and check it out for yourself and see if it might be right for you.
That's right. And you'll get 10% off using the code GF. Anything you want to try at envypillow.com. Yay. Hey, we got a voicemail this week, and we're so happy to hear from Mally. She's such a sweetheart, Lisa.
Oh, she really is. And she's a queenager. I know that she has the T-shirt and maybe the pendant. Anyway, let's hear what Mally has to say.
Hello to two of my favorite queenagers. It's Mally from Newmarket. Thanks for your great podcast. Every Thursday, no matter where I am in the world, I have coffee and listen to both of you. I totally agree with your thoughts on items which need a bit of an upgrade. Who the heck designed them? Definitely not those who would consider where a lot of these products would go, into kids' lunchboxes. The mere sight of a Lunchable can cause teachers and parents to melt down. Don't get me started on the strength and agility it takes for seniors just to get a drink from a container of a protein meal replacement. Right now, it's bento boxes here all around. Thanks, Elaine, for the recommendation of an excellent Canadian sunscreen. Your listeners are just amazing. Lisa and Aaron, thanks for everything. Have a fabulous Canada Day, a time to celebrate our wonderful, peaceful country.
Oh, Mally, we so appreciate you listening. And more than that, taking the time to leave us a voicemail at gracefullyandfrankly.com. And also that's where our survey is too.
Right. It's so easy to leave the voicemail. There's a little microphone you'll see on the page. It follows you everywhere and you just click it and you're good to go. That's all there is to that. And just tell us who you are and it gets sent directly to us. As far as the survey goes, the results are fascinating.
Do you have some more? I haven't really had the time to delve in and really take in the comments, Lisa.
Well, I've been looking mostly at the pie charts.
Pie.
You know, where you listen, when you listen, how often you listen. One of the ones I found kind of surprising was, do you subscribe to the podcast? Because then you get a reminder and a link to go listen to it. And 90% say yes. And I'm looking at it going, what's up with you other 10%? Why are you not subscribed? But anyway, it's really kind of fun. We're enjoying them. And someone's going to win a collection of GNF merch, a t-shirt, a pendant, the earrings, and just go to gracefullyandfrankly.com under news. The link is right there. And it's just a quick survey to get your feelings and your thoughts.
Yeah, nobody will come and visit you and we won't inundate you with emails or anything like that. It's not like if you donate to a certain political party. Holy moly, stop with the emails.
Oh, man. Like,
you won already. What's the victory fund for?
Okay, so you're thinking the same thing as me. It's like, you won. Leave me alone. I'm not giving him money. He has my tax money. Leave me.
Right. Just stop it. Okay, so there's that. And don't forget, next week, episode 133. Next Thursday, we will announce the winner of the GNF swag, and we would love for you to wear the Queenager stuff proudly. And if you don't win, hey, we will make it available to you for a reasonably low price. We're just that nice. Up this episode, it is time for This Week in Totally Stupid or Twits.
One more time. We were off. Hold on.
Twits up, Lisa. Let's do this again. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Twits. We are a couple of twits.
No, these are twittier. So these are tourist questions asked at hotels across the country, and they're a mix of people. There's one from Italy, one from Germany, one the U.S., one the U.K., and one from Sweden. So here are some of the questions, all right?
Yep.
I have never seen it warm on Canadian TV, so how do the plants grow?
Boy, they should be there this week in Ontario.
Yeah, no kidding. I want to walk from Vancouver to Toronto. Can I just follow the railroad tracks?
I think it was Stephen Wright who said, everything is walking distance if you have enough time.
That's so true. All right. Can you tell me the regions in British Columbia where the female population is smaller than the male population?
Well, just a second. Where the female is smaller than the male. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. He's looking at increasing his odds. Or she is. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Are there supermarkets in Toronto and is milk available all year round?
Yes. Sometimes it comes in bags.
We've just got to get word out about Canada more.
We really do. And ice milk, of course, comes from cows who stay outside in the winter. We know that, Dairy Queen, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good point. Chocolate milk from brown cows, all those things, yeah.
Obviously.
My favorite, though, was asked in Banff.
Okay.
I like the way you said okay. A guy pointed to a mountain and said, how much does that mountain weigh? And the concierge claims he responded by saying, with or without the trees.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway. Yeah, Canada, a much misunderstood but much loved country. And even Russell Crowe, I don't know if you saw his social media post recently. He's been to 7 of the provinces now, I think.
Yeah.
And Mark Carney replied and said, come to all the rest. And he loves Canada.
Yeah. He said, when you've seen all the provinces and territories, the first round's on me.
Perfect.
So now we know what it takes to get a round of drinks with Mark Carney. I'm going to start working on it.
And neither of us drink, so it's a lot of good that does us, yeah.
Okay, Lisa, happy Canada Day. What are you doing to celebrate?
I have a whole bunch of different things going on, breakfasts and lunches and different people coming to town and all sorts of things. So, yeah, it's going to be busy and fun. What about you?
Good. Well, we have neighbors who look right out where Sydney puts on our fireworks, which happens on the 30th of June, which is also my sobriety anniversary. So I always go, yay me.
Yay.
Yeah. So we are going to be on their balcony on the 5th floor looking out right at the fireworks. The dogs will be in a crate back in our condo in my little radio studio. I'll have music piped in and they won't hear a thing.
Nice.
Yeah, because fireworks and animals, right?
Oh, no. They end up in the bathtub or under the bed, and they get very upset.
They do. But we don't want to end this on a down note. Happy Canada Day, or so many are calling it Happy Thank God I'm a Canadian Day.
Yes. Hear, hear. I'm with you on that one.
And we'll be back with you next week. Bye-bye.
Talk to you then.